Are you in search of your perfect cup of coffee at home? Do you crave a fresh cup of joe from the comfort of your own kitchen? Well, look no further, because Black Sun Coffee is here to help. The medium roast from Black Sun Coffee features notes of Brazil nut, grapefruit, and oak. The freshness is guaranteed to start your day off right. Go to blacksuncoffee.com, that's BLVCK, and use the promo code CONFIDENCE20 for 20% off your next purchase.
The Confidence Factor. The Confidence Factor.
The whole reason why I wanted to do this podcast is that I believe so strongly in the power of the story and in the art of storytelling. To me, a large part of being confident is being able to own your story, the highs and the lows, the smooth road and the bumpy terrain, the successes and the failures. And then once you can own your story, learning how to strategize it and use it to benefit you and to bless other people. That is exactly what the first guest on the Confidence Factor does. And that's just one of many, many reasons why she's one of my favorite people. She teaches us how it's possible to be brave and scared at the same time, because that's the foundation of her story. Let's listen.
The Confidence Factor.
So when the thought first hit me to do a podcast, I knew two things for sure. Number one, it was going to be about confidence. Number two, today's guest had to be my first guest. Professionally, she is a diversity consultant who specializes in conscious inclusion, multicultural awareness, and diversity training. Personally, she is one of my favorite people. She is a mother, an artist, an entrepreneur, a wearer of crimson and cream. And honestly, when I think about confidence and authenticity, she is one of the very first people that come to mind. She holds a BA from Indiana University, an MA from Ball State University, and an EDD from the University of Mississippi. Please welcome my very first guest to the Confidence Factor, the one, the only, Dr. Alex White.
What am I going to do with you, Dr. Wait. Listen, that was one of the best introductions I have ever had.
Oh.
I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful, wonderful podcast. And I am just happy to have this time to spend with you and get caught up and talk about confidence. So I thank you. And I am looking forward to this. So much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. And we should be together. Well, maybe not now, but like last week, we should have been in California.
Correct. Long Beach.
Yes. But here we are.
So
this is just as good. So,
yes.
So I'm trying to think. I remember in terms of like how we met and how we connected. My first recollection of you was either Alex and I go to conferences together. And so it either had to be Indianapolis or Tampa. It was one of the two. And I just remember I went to you presented. I think you were still at what is that place? SIUE or whatever.
SIUE, Ball State?
It was SIUE. I think you were working there and you did a presentation. And I think maybe I was with Bianca or maybe somebody, I don't know. But they introduced me to you. Like that's the first time I met you. And then, no, it had to be, maybe it was Tampa, because whenever I met you, then the next year you came into the conference roommate situation.
I did. But because we had so much fun in Tampa, I think. We were out.
We had too much fun in Tampa.
I don't know. But either way, how we met the universe lined up.
Absolutely.
I believe that people come into your life for reasons and seasons, and you have just been one of those people that we might not talk for months. But if I call you and say, Leah, I need this, or Leah, hey, I'm in Ohio. Can you come see me? My sorority sister's getting married. You pick up what you're doing, you stop what you're doing, you embrace me. And so I think if we're going to talk about confidence, then we have to talk about confidence and sisterhood. And I appreciate you being one of those confident people in my sister circle. So I don't know the details I can't remember, but however it happened, I am blessed that it did happen.
Likewise.
So, yes.
So let's start the conversation about confidence. All right. So my very first question, how do you define confidence? What is your personal definition?
I think my personal definition depends on the ability to be brave and scared at the same time. So I usually am. I'm brave and scared at the same time in a lot of my endeavors and presentations and meeting people. And my confidence comes from having that happy balance of bravery and a little apprehension. And so when confidence for me is being able to understand a space, move in that space, and understand that I might not get it right, but at least I am trying. And it comes from my life experiences, messing up and falling down and being a college dropout, being a single mother, being a domestic violence survivor, being an educator, being in a sorority, being a politician. And so all of those life experiences has provided me with confidence to navigate any situation that I'm in.
Now, I just want to let people know that guests on this podcast have not seen the question list, but somehow Alex has started to answer my second question. So we're going to just go into that a little deeper in terms of your story and your journey and how your path has led you to that definition of confidence, finding kind of the balance between bravery and apprehension. So what's the story? How'd you get there?
I am a product of the South Side of Chicago. I have 5 brothers. I have lived an interesting life. One of my favorite poems is by Robert Frost, which is The Road Less Traveled. And I have taken the road sometimes that has been less traveled, and that might have been a little bit harder, but it has made all the difference, which is the line in the poem. And so, being a college dropout, partying too much, drinking too much, in an abusive relationship. And so realizing my failure, being ashamed of being a college dropout and being a single mother, and learning the power in my story propelled me to have confidence to tell my story, which has prepared me and propelled me to live my truth. And my truth right now is I help people get back into college. I talk to people who have dropped out of college. I talk to domestic violence survivors. And in between that, my confidence comes in being a mother and a caregiver. I not only had custody of my brothers, but I also was a single mom. So I had 3 people that I was responsible for, my daughter plus my brothers. And so with that comes some confidence, and it also comes some mistakes. And so with confidence, I'm able to say my mistakes and let people know that I am not perfect and grow from those experiences. And so that is just some of my story. And being a mother has been very, very near and dear to me. And so one of those reasons, working in higher education, working in different universities in different cities, and sometimes just being me and my daughter, I had to have the confidence to reach out and find the babysitter or find someone to pick my daughter up when I couldn't get out of a meeting. the confidence to just say, you know what, I can't get out of bed this morning. Can someone help me? And so I created one of the largest online communities for mothers who work on college campuses because our stories are different. Not only are we mothers, but we also mother a lot of students.
Absolutely.
We protect and care for people's children when they are away from home. And so our story and our lived experiences are different. And so I had the confidence to create that. And I wanted other people to share their stories.
I cannot tell you. I mean, I've been a member of SAMS for about a year now. When you threw me the ribbon and the pen and said, "Welcome to SAMS," last year in Nashville. But I cannot tell you how helpful that community has been to me. Even if I'm not sharing, just reading what people are sharing and reading how people are responding has been so comforting to me. So thank you for creating that space for people to share and for people to lean on each other. It's been very valuable to me in my growth in this motherhood journey.
That is one of my favorite things for being online, because the shared experience for mothers working on college campus during a pandemic. Oh man. I mean, the stories, the threads, the comments, presidents of universities that have children and they're trying to wonder, do they allow other children to come to their campuses? So SAM stands for Student Affairs Moms. It is an acronym, and it is a wonderful community of close to 8,000 mothers, people who identify as mothers, just sharing their stories and gaining confidence in their stories.
Absolutely. So actually, going back to a part of your story, what would you say gave you the confidence or the motivation to go from, when you look at your story and look at your journey, you went from a college dropout to having the ultimate degree or terminal degree, which a very, very small percentage of people actually hold. And so what gave you the confidence to not only go back to school to finish your bachelor's degree, but then to keep going?
Poverty. Just poverty. If I knew that if I wanted to end generational poverty in my family, then education was my way out. I'm not an athlete. I was not going to be in the WNBA. I was not going to be a YouTube sensation. So education was my way out. And what triggered me was not getting a job. As a college dropout, I became employed at a bank, and I was really, really good at my job. I had a large pipeline, loan pipeline. I had one of the best customer service percentages, and a position came open at the bank, and I applied for it, and I was one of the best candidates. And I went in, I'll never forget it. I went into the office and I'm thinking they're going to give me the job. I had been working there, and I had just gotten custody of my brothers, and so I wanted that extra income. And I walked into the room. I was very confident that I was going to get the job. And the person said, "Alex, we love you here at the bank. You are one of our best employees. You interviewed well. Your numbers are great for the position. However, you do not have a college degree." And I said, "Well, that wasn't one of their requirements." And she said, "Yes, we know, but we will be changing the job description, and we want someone in that position to hold a bachelor's." And I remember feeling so small at that, very, very small. And I was secretly cursing her out in my head.
I'm sure you were.
But something told me to be still. And I said, "Thank you. Thank you for letting me know." And then she did the whole, the sandwich method, tell you something good, tell you something bad, and then we're going to end with something good. I was like, yeah, whatever. But when I went home, that was my motivation for, I've got to go back to school. I've got to go back to school. And so that day that I did not get that job was the best day of my life, because I went to the office at Indiana University, told them my story, told them what happened. They admitted me on a probationary status. I got in. I went back to that same lady and said, I am going back to school to get my bachelor's. And I will never forget what she said, Leah. She says, Alex, I just don't think that's a good idea for you to go back and get your bachelor's. You know, you just got custody of your brothers. You're a single mom. And, you know, everybody has their degrees. And I said, I want to be one of those people that has a degree. I said, I would like to work on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I will be going to class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I had enough confidence to tell her, please let me know if you can accommodate my schedule, or I can send in my resignation right now. Oh, no, Alex. We love you here. We're family. And so that is how I enrolled at Indiana University to finish my bachelor's degree. Yeah. That is my story, and everything else is history. I went back to school. I was usually the only person in the classroom with the kid. I was more than likely the oldest person. My confidence was often tested because I was the oldest person and felt out of place sometimes. But I made it through. I found my people. I found professors who would, you know, hold my daughter or welcome me into their classroom with my stroller. And so I appreciated that. And every day it was, I've got to get up. I've got to get up. I can do this. I can do this. And so my confidence built every semester. I can do this. And I graduated. I got my master's and waited a couple of years and got my doctorate. So it's not something that you get overnight. As I said earlier, it's about your lived experiences.
This isn't a question on the page, but I'm going to ask it anyways. How has, you know, your daughter's 16? 16. Okay, that's what I thought. So, I mean, she's grown with you.
She has.
As you've grown, she's grown. And so how has watching you impacted her as she grows and develops her own sense of confidence?
And so I am very keen on that. As a young girl of color, she's seen Instagram models and she's seen lots of plastic surgeries and all these filters that make your face look different. And so I'm constantly telling her every time I see her, when she walks down the stairs, I say, hey, pretty girl, you're my favorite child. She's my only child, but I always tell her she's my favorite child. And I'm always telling her how pretty she is, how smart she is. She is a quiet leader. She does have her dad's personality. And I told her, you do not have to be like your mom to be confident. And so we talked through that there is confidence and there's a quiet confidence and there is strength in silence. And so she's a little bit more quiet than I, but I work on that in that regard, making sure she knows that.
Absolutely. What would you say is your confidence factor? What is that special thing about Alex that no one else has, but when you show up in a room, you know you got it? What is your confidence factor?
I read the room. So I fundamentally believe in emotional intelligence, emotional EQ. I'm always reading the room. Because I am short in stature, I am reading the room. I am understanding my audience. I am understanding my exit. So when I enter a room, I also always want to know how can I exit that room. And that's in any situation. That's in a business situation. That's in whether I'm meeting people for the how will I enter this space and how will I exit this space. And so once I understand that about everything in life, it builds my confidence to be able to be strategic in how I work the room. And my confidence comes from I know that there's an end to this, and I know I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time, right? And so that builds my confidence in meeting people and sticky situations, in conflict, in things that I'm not familiar with. And so understanding how you start and how you exit or how you finish things also is an aspect of my confidence factor, is reading the room and understanding how things start, and yes, they will end some kind of way.
I love that, because I think we do focus a lot on how you enter a room and how you take up space, but we don't talk about how you leave it.
Oh, I'm always thinking how am I going to leave this space? Who do I need to speak to before I leave this space? How will I leave this space abruptly? Will I make an announcement? Will I bring people with me? What have I left in this space? And that is in any of my entrepreneur endeavors. That's in any business. If you're going to start a business, you also have to think about how you're going to exit a business. And that is how I maneuver through different spaces.
I love that. Can you think of a moment when this confidence factor was on full display, when it was shining? So this is a moment to brag on yourself, just so we're clear. It's like, because, not everyone can read a room properly. So when has it really worked for you?
I would have to say it was interesting. I would have to say the 2008 presidential inauguration of President Obama. I
can't wait to hear this.
Yes, I was in DC. I had the privilege of going to both of his inaugurations. But the one where having confidence really propelled me is I was able to be confident in the situation, which allowed me to get into the inauguration ball, where I was able to meet Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Roland Martin and Cheryl Lee Ralph. And the way I read the room was, okay, they're out here interviewing people. They are looking for someone who has a story. And so I walked up to, I don't know who it was, a PR, a publicist, someone, and I started talking. And she was like, you want to come into this inauguration ball? And I said, why, sure I do. And but next thing you know, I'm in this inauguration ball with all of these people. I have all these pictures on Facebook with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Cheryl Lee Ralph and Roland Martin. And it all started with, I see something. I know that I can do this, and let me see where it takes me. And that was one of the coolest nights ever of my life, was going to be a pre-inauguration ball at the inauguration of President Obama. So
that's such a good story. I didn't know what you were going to share. I can tell you that wasn't it. That's so good.
It was so much fun.
That's so good.
I was confident that night. Had to be, because a lot of people. It was a lot of people. So yeah, I was thinking that was a cool display of confidence at that time.
I love it. So for my final question, pick a number between 1 and 39.
Oh, 3. Of course, 3.
Okay. So knowing what you know now and everything that you've experienced, what would you tell your 3-year-old self?
Oh, my 3-year-old self. I was really, really spoiled because I was only girl. Um, I would tell myself, I was always outside playing with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mom never had me in the kitchen doing domestic things. So I was a tomboy. And I just remember all my little 3-year-old, my little pictures of me playing and being a 3-year-old. And you know what? I, my 3-year-old self started with my mom saying, go play with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Go be outside. You don't have to be inside being domesticated.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom could cook, but she would tell me, go play with your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Go outside. Go and that propelled me to my mom was like, I never want you to babysit kids. And I never understood that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'd rather you get a lemonade stand. She said, I'd rather you get a lemonade stand or go play softball. Or my mom put me in a lot of pageants because I was a tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was building my confidence, but she was also preparing me to be on the stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
So she put me in a lot of pageants. And it started at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
At 3 and 4, I was playing with my brothers. I was free to have scars and fall.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom she started that. I think about that now, how she would be like, just go outside and play. And she never made a big deal if I had a scar, falling or whatever. She let me be authentic. And she never tried to make me, I say, girly. But yeah, it started at a young age. A lot of my pictures, I'm playing with trucks and toys. And, my confidence to always be who I am and not fit in a mold started very young. Thanks to my mom, I must say.
So then I can see the parallels very clearly from, 3-year-old Alex and then Alex today, that foundational work that started back then. So then what's the message that you would tell her?
I would tell her to just live and enjoy being in your skin. Take the falls, take the bumps and bruises, take all of that, because that is going to build who you are. And if you're able to embrace who you are and have the confidence to tell your story, to look at your bumps and bruises, whether they're on your hands or on your heart, you will be able to be a better person and have people around you. And confidence is not about being conceited. Confidence is about being able to tell your story. And so I remember someone saying, always keep your head up, but keep your nose at a friendly level. And so always be confident, but make sure you have a little bit of humility and vulnerability and authenticity dabbed in there. So yes, I'm always confident, but I keep my nose at a friendly level and I'm humble and authentic. And that adds to my confidence as well. So the 3-year-old, enjoy those bumps and bruises, enjoy having fun, and just enjoy being in your skin. So, yes.
Perfect place to end it. Alex, thank you.
Oh, thank
you for sharing. You probably didn't even scratch the surface of everything that you probably could have shared because there's just so much in you. Tip of the iceberg, but my goodness, I'm over here taking notes based off of what you shared. So just thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable enough to kind of, give some wisdom based off of your life experiences. So I definitely appreciate that. Before I let you go, let us know how we can find you on social media. You're always working on something. Again, you heard the bio, entrepreneur, artist, There's stories behind all of this, people. So let everybody know how to find you and what we can look forward to you in the near future, forward to seeing from you in the near future.
Oh, yes. Please follow me on Instagram, Alex Wonder. That's ALX Wonder. I am always on there. Please join me on Clubhouse. I have a huge following on Clubhouse because I love doing things like this. I love talking to people, hearing the sincerity of people's voices, hearing the emotion in people's voices. I'm Alexandria White on Clubhouse. I am currently running for Alderwoman in Ward 3 in Oxford, Mississippi. If I do win, I will be the first Black Alderwoman in Ward 3 in the history of the town. And so April 6, 2021 is my primary day. So I'm actually working on that. Please send good vibes. I'm also working on a Sam's website. As I said before, we have grown to 8,000, close to 8,000 moms. And so a website is almost done. Mm-hmm. And we will be sharing stories of mothers. We will be having merchandise. We will be providing professional development for mothers who work on college campuses. And when I'm not doing that, I am helping a 16-year-old navigate how to drive, financial literacy, things that maybe I didn't understand as a child. And those are just some of the things. So politics, social media, website, just some of the things. And I'm preparing for an art show, Accidental Art by Alex. Please follow me on Facebook. I do ship art actually worldwide, so I must say, but I do have an art show that I will be featured in on April 17th, and you will get to see some of my artwork on Instagram. So thank you.
All right. So you heard where to find her and how to follow her. And so make sure you check out all of her projects. We are very much looking forward to, I am looking forward to the unveiling of the Sam's website and everything that will come from that. And we will definitely be sending good thoughts and vibes and prayers your way as you enter into this political arena. But it's a good look for you, I must say. So I can see it. So
we're gonna see.
Yeah, definitely.
I have no filters. So I don't know. But hey, if we could, if other politicians have made it by being their authentic selves, we're gonna see from whether a woman of color from the South Side of Chicago can do so.
Well, at least we know you have something to say. So
yeah. But listen, before I go, I have to give you your flowers. You are a new mother. You are you have joined the 3% of people who hold a terminal degree. You are doing a podcast. And so I think the listeners or anyone who is hearing the sound of my voice, please give recognition and praise to everything that you are doing, Dr. Shaw. And so it is a pleasure for me to be your friend.
Oh, gosh.
And I love you. So
that means a lot.
No crying on podcast.
Well, it's too late. I appreciate that more than you know, more than you know. So, and I love you for the inspiration and the example that you've been in my life. And I mean, in a short period of time, you've made a very large impact. So I thank you for that. So
yes,
very much.
Yes. So,
and so before we become further a mess right now, because I'm like, so I'm a Pisces. Come on now. You can't do this to me. Us water signs will be over here blubbering all over the place. So we're gonna call it a wrap. And
We're gonna talk the rest, please.
and so again, thank you for being here today, and thank you all for listening. So
Thank you.
Smile is the evidence.
thank you everybody for listening to The Confidence Factor. Be sure to check out my website at www.beshawesome or bshawesome.com. You can also check me out on Instagram at b.shawesome.
Confidence factor.
As always, thank you to Golden Ox Studios for making this a reality week after week.